Thank you so much for staying with us on Newsnet. I'm Charlie Tinker, and around America we go. This one for a story that, if not you or a loved one, certainly impacts millions and millions of Americans out there. In fact, many undiagnosed cases as well. We're talking about mental illness, and increasingly in mental illness, we are seeing a push from virtually every sector of society, including the federal government, to ensure that everybody is addressing those concerns, and increasingly animals have a role in that conversation. I'm here with Ronica Froese, who is potentially one of the best people to talk about this, and I guess what we're seeing in terms of therapy animals out there.
Hi, Charlie. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. Thanks for taking the time. So tell us a little bit about what you do and kind of how you got started in doing this.
I have 3 miniature horses, Charlie, George, and Fred. We take them inside nursing homes, hospitals, assisted living facilities. We do lots of different events with them. We go inside Alzheimer's units. So we do what's called comfort therapy. So they pet the residents or the patients, pet the horses, love on them, have a couple seconds of joy that takes away from them being in the hospital or in the nursing home. We really love what we do, and it definitely has a big impact in our community and the state as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. As somebody who has been out there and kind of seen some of the reactions to therapy animals in general, and in fact to your miniature horses specifically, when we had several occasions to meet, I guess. What are some of those reactions that you're seeing? I would imagine some pretty significant ones.
A lot of especially in the nursing homes and assisted living, that generation grew up on farms, and a lot of them are horse lovers, and they just absolutely love the fact that they get to see a horse again. They love the smell, even though my boys are super, super clean, so you don't really get that horse smell. But, they tell me it's the greatest thing they've ever seen, especially at the hospitals. We visit quite a few hospitals in the West Michigan area, and the patients love it. And I, as a person that's been in the hospital a lot with the illness I have, I absolutely, I'd love therapy animals, and I've had ones visit me while I've been in the hospital. And horses are fun. Nothing cooler than a horse getting out of a computer, or a horse wearing sneakers and walking around a hospital and it being a real horse.
Yeah, you just don't expect.
It's a real
You just don't
horse.
expect them to be that tiny. Yeah, I mean that's the thing for me. I mean it's definitely some shock value there as well. So how did you get started? I mean I would imagine you don't just come up with 3 miniature therapy horses. I mean there was a starting point here.
5 years ago, I wanted to get just a horse at my house, and I'd always wanted a miniature horse. And of course, growing up, my mom and I both wanted a mini, and my dad's like, nope, you can't ride it. All you do is feed it. We're not buying one of those. Well, being a homeowner now and an adult, I can make my own decisions, and I decided I was getting a miniature horse. And when I started searching miniature horses online, I've always owned big horses, and I just wanted to see if there was any difference between owning a mini and owning a big horse. Miniature horse therapy came up. It's been a huge growing trend in the last 5 years. Granted, little horses have been going inside hospitals for 20 plus years. It's not a new thing, but it's a growing trend. So I decided when I bought Charlie that if I could train him to do that is exactly what I wanted to do, and to volunteer my time for others, because if I was in a nursing home or a hospital, I'd want somebody to be willing to come visit me, and Charlie was destined for what we do. And he was so easy to train and so perfect to train, and I had to learn a lot of things about potty training, and I didn't know you could even potty train your horse. Not believe it. But it's a
Interesting
statement.
process, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually no different than house training a dog. It was way easier than I could have ever expected it to be. So then our program grew. In our area, we were one of the only teams in the West Michigan area. So I had tons of visit requests, and then my Charlie got sick, so then we started adding horses to our program, and we now have the 3 horses that I wanted to own, and we can rotate on visits, and Charlie's not working all the time, so each one of the boys has their special things that they do for our program, and it's a lot of fun.
We're running out of time, but certainly some resources for everybody out there to check out. And for me personally, this has been pretty enlightening. I think we're going to love to keep our fingers kind of on the pulse of this trend to see where this goes and how it continues, I guess, to improve lives.
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, miniature horse world takes over the dog world. No, I'm kidding.
A challenge. All right. Well, thank you very much, Ronica, for taking the time. We certainly appreciate it. Little horses, big smiles. Thank you very much. Stay tuned right here on Newsnet Around America.